My name is Sarah. I'm 28 years old. I work in a small office. I have worked there for almost 5 years. I know everyone there. We talk, we laugh, we eat lunch together. It feels like a second home to me. But sometimes, even in a place like that, things can feel strange. Things can feel uncomfortable. And last Friday, I felt very uncomfortable. I felt small. I felt confused. A few months ago, I found out I was pregnant. I remember that day very clearly. I was sitting in my bathroom, holding the test. My hands were shaking. I looked at it again and again. 2 lines. I smiled. Then I cried. I was happy, but also scared. It was a big change. A very big change. The first weeks were not easy. I felt tired all the time. I felt sick at night. Even simple food made my stomach hurt. Sometimes I just wanted to lie down and do nothing. I missed a lot of things at work. I missed our Friday nights out. Every few weeks we go to a bar near our office. We eat, we drink, we talk. It is simple, but it is fun. It helps us relax after a long week. Some people at work already knew about my pregnancy. I told a few close friends first. They were kind, they smiled, they hugged me. Later, I told everyone. I was nervous, but also excited. Most people were happy for me. They said, "Congratulations." They asked me how I felt. They were nice. I felt good. After some weeks, I started to feel a little better. Not perfect, but better. So I decided to join the Friday night group again. I missed it. I missed the noise, the laughter, the feeling of being together. I didn't want to stay home every time. I still wanted to feel normal. I still wanted to be me. The first time I went back, it was okay. I ordered food and a drink with no alcohol. A virgin drink. It tasted sweet and cold. I liked it. No one said anything strange. People just talked like always. I felt relaxed. I felt happy. The second time was also fine. A little louder, a little more crowded, but still okay. I stayed for a short time and went home early. I was careful. I always tried to be careful. Then came last Friday. That day was long. Work was busy. My head felt heavy. My body felt slow. But when evening came, I thought, maybe I should go. I wanted to see my friends. I wanted to forget about work for a while. So I went. The bar was more crowded than usual. I noticed that right away. Some people from work were there, but also some new faces. People I don't usually see at our Friday nights. That made me a little nervous, but I told myself it was okay. Just relax, I said. Just sit and enjoy. I sat down at the table. The lights were soft. Music was playing. People were laughing. It felt normal, but also a little different. I ordered some food, then I ordered a virgin drink. No alcohol. I made sure of that. I always make sure. When the drink came, I took a small sip. It tasted just like before, sweet and fresh. I smiled a little. I felt calm. But then something changed. One of my coworkers, a man I don't talk to much, looked at my drink. He looked at me. Then he asked, "Is that a virgin drink?" I nodded. "Yes," I said. "No alcohol." He didn't smile. He just stared at the glass. Then he said, "Are you sure? Sometimes they still have a little alcohol." His words made me pause. I felt a small, tight feeling in my chest. I said, "I'm sure. I asked for no alcohol. He didn't look convinced. He leaned back in his chair and said, I don't know. I just think you should be careful. I felt uncomfortable. I didn't know what to say. I just gave a small smile and looked down at my drink. Then another person joined the talk, a woman from a different team. She looked at me and said, What if they made a mistake? What if it's not really a virgin drink? Now I felt more eyes on me. I could feel it. People were looking. Not everyone, but enough. I could feel the heat in my face. I said again, I checked. It's safe. But inside, I didn't feel calm anymore. I felt nervous. I felt watched. The man spoke again. His voice was a little louder now. Honestly, he said, this doesn't look good. A pregnant woman at a bar, drinking something that looks like alcohol. It's not a good look. Those words hurt. They really hurt. I sat there, very still. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. My hands felt cold. My heart was beating fast. I looked around, and I saw a few people staring, not smiling, just watching. I suddenly felt very small. I pulled my hoodie over my body. I tried to hide my small baby bump. Before that moment, I didn't think it was very noticeable. But now, I felt like everyone could see it. Everyone could see me. I took another small sip of my drink, but it didn't taste good anymore. It didn't feel the same. My stomach felt tight. My chest felt heavy. I wanted to leave. I tried to stay a little longer. I really tried. I told myself, it's okay, just relax. But I couldn't. The feeling didn't go away. The looks didn't stop. After some minutes, I stood up quietly. I said a soft goodbye to one friend. Then I walked out of the bar. The night air was cool. I took a deep breath. Then another. I felt a little better, but also very sad. My eyes felt wet. I didn't cry, but I wanted to. I walked to my car slowly. My mind was full of thoughts. Did I do something wrong? I asked myself. Was it really a bad idea to go? I sat in my car for a moment before driving. I held the steering wheel and just sat there. Quiet. Still. I felt tired. I felt confused. I didn't understand why something so simple felt so heavy. That night, everything changed a little for me. I sat in my car for a long time that night. The engine was off. The street was quiet. I just sat there, holding the steering wheel. I didn't move. I didn't speak. I just thought. My heart was still beating fast. My chest felt tight. I kept hearing his words in my head. It's not a good look. Again and again. I didn't like those words. They stayed in my mind. They didn't go away. After some time, I started the car and drove home. The road was dark, but there were lights from other cars. I drove slowly. I was careful. My mind was not calm. I kept thinking about the bar, about the people, about the way they looked at me. When I got home, my husband was in the living room. His name is Michael. He was sitting on the couch, watching TV. The room was warm. The light was soft. It felt safe. I wanted that feeling. I needed that feeling. He looked at me and smiled a little. Hey, he said, you're home early. I tried to smile, but it was hard. I took off my shoes and sat down next to him. I felt tired. Very tired. Are you okay? He asked. I looked at him. I wanted to feel better. I wanted him to understand. So I started talking. I told him everything. I told him about the bar. I told him about the questions. I told him about the looks. I told him how I felt. I spoke slowly. Sometimes I stopped. Sometimes I didn't know the right words. I felt bad, I said. I felt like people were judging me, like I did something wrong. He listened. He didn't interrupt. He just looked at me. When I finished, there was a short silence. I waited. I hoped he would say something kind, something soft, something like, "You did nothing wrong." But he didn't say that. He looked at me and said, "I think they were just worried." I blinked. "Worried?" I asked. "Yes," he said. "You're pregnant. People care about that. Maybe they were just trying to help." His words felt heavy, not angry, not mean, but not what I needed. I looked down at my hands. "But I knew it was a virgin drink," I said quietly. "I checked. I was careful." He nodded. "I know," he said, "but other people don't know that. From the outside, it just looks like you're drinking at a bar." I felt that tight feeling again. My chest hurt a little. "So, you think I did something wrong?" I asked. He paused. Then he said, "Not wrong, but maybe not the best idea." Those words hit me. Not the best idea. I felt my eyes get wet. He continued, "People talk. You know that. And now they know you're pregnant. They will watch more. They will think more." I stayed quiet. I didn't like this. I didn't like how this felt. He added, "Maybe next time you can just drink water. It's easier, no confusion." I looked at him. I didn't say anything, but inside, I felt something break a little. I understood what he was saying. I really did. But at the same time, I felt sad. Very sad. I went to the kitchen and got a glass of water. I drank slowly. My hands were still shaking a little. That night, I went to bed early. I lay down, but I couldn't sleep. My mind was too loud. I kept thinking about everything. I thought about the bar. I thought about my coworkers. I thought about my husband's words. Maybe they were right, I thought. Then another thought came. But I didn't do anything wrong. Back and forth. Again and again. I turned to one side, then the other side. I closed my eyes, then opened them again. I felt tired, but I couldn't rest. I just wanted to feel normal, I whispered to myself, just for one night. The next morning, I woke up early. I didn't feel fresh. I felt heavy. My body was slow. My head hurt a little. I got ready for work. I looked at myself in the mirror. My face looked tired. My eyes looked sad. Just a normal day, I told myself. Just go to work. But deep inside, I knew it would not feel normal. When I arrived at the office, I walked in slowly. I tried to act the same. I tried to smile. But it was not easy. I said hello to a few people. Some smiled back. Some didn't. Some just looked at me for a second too long. I felt it again. That feeling. That uncomfortable feeling. At my desk, I sat down and turned on my computer. I tried to focus on my work, emails, files, simple things. But my mind was not there. I could feel eyes on me again. Not always, not everyone, but sometimes. Two people were talking near the coffee machine. I heard a small laugh, then silence when I looked up. Are they talking about me? I thought. I didn't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. But the feeling stayed. Later that morning, my close friend at work came to my desk. Her name is Lisa. She smiled at me. Hey, she said softly. Are you okay? I looked at her and I felt a little safe. I trusted her. I don't know, I said. Yesterday was strange. She pulled a chair and sat next to me. Tell me, she said. So I told her everything again. The bar, the questions, the looks, my husband's words. She listened carefully. She didn't interrupt. She just nodded sometimes. When I finished, she shook her head a little. People can be too much, she said. I gave a small, tired smile. Maybe they are just worried, I said, repeating my husband's words. Lisa looked at me and said, Maybe, but that doesn't mean they can judge you. Her voice was calm but strong. You did nothing wrong, she said. You were careful. You know your body. You know your choices. Her words felt warm. I needed that. But everyone was looking at me, I said. I felt so uncomfortable. She nodded. I understand, but you can't control what people think. I looked down. It's hard, I said. I know, she replied, but you have to live your life, not their life. I stayed quiet for a moment. Her words made sense, but the feeling inside me didn't go away. I just don't want people to think I'm careless, I said softly. Lisa leaned closer and said, The people who know you, they know you are not careless. I looked at her. I wanted to believe that. I really wanted to. The rest of the day was slow, very slow. I tried to work, but my mind kept going back to the same thoughts. Every small look felt big. Every whisper felt loud. By the end of the day, I felt tired again. Not just my body, but my heart. As I packed my bag to go home, I asked myself one question. Should I go out again next Friday? Or should I just stay home? That night after work, I went straight home. I did not stop anywhere. I did not feel like talking much. My body was there, but my mind was still at the office, still at the bar, still in those small moments where people looked at me. When I entered the house, it was quiet. My husband, Michael, was cooking something simple in the kitchen. The smell of food filled the room. Normally, I like that smell. But that day, I just felt heavy inside. Hey, he said. How was work? I took off my jacket slowly. I sat on the chair near the table. It was okay, I said. But my voice did not sound okay. He looked at me. You still thinking about Friday? I nodded. I didn't need to explain. He already knew. He placed a plate in front of me. I started eating, but I was not really hungry. I just moved the food slowly with my fork. I talked to Lisa today, I said after a while. Michael sat down. And? She said I did nothing wrong, I said. She said people should not judge me. He nodded slowly. She's trying to support you. I looked at him. But you don't fully agree? He paused. That pause said a lot. I think, he said carefully, that people just misunderstood the situation, but it still caused attention. I felt my chest tighten again. So, I should not have gone? He shook his head. I didn't say that. I just think maybe it was not the best place right now. I looked down at my plate. My appetite was gone again. We ate in silence for a few minutes, only small sounds from the kitchen. The clock ticking, the soft noise of the fridge. I finally said, I just wanted to feel normal. I wanted one normal evening. He looked at me. I understand that, he said softly. I really do. But I still felt a gap between us, like we were not fully in the same place. After dinner, I went to the bedroom early. I lay on the bed and stared at the ceiling. My hand was on my stomach. I thought about the baby. I felt a small movement inside, a soft reminder that life was growing. I want peace, I whispered. I just want peace. But my mind was not peaceful. The next day at work, things felt a little different. Not better, not worse. Just different. Like the air had changed. When I walked in, I noticed small things. A quick look. A short silence when I passed by. A smile that felt a little forced. I told myself maybe I was imagining it, but deep inside, I was not sure. I sat at my desk and opened my computer. I tried to focus. I really tried. But then I heard two coworkers talking near this hallway. I think she shouldn't drink at bars anymore, one voice said softly. The other voice replied, Yeah, it looked weird. My fingers stopped moving. My heart dropped a little. I looked at my screen, but I could not see clearly for a moment. My eyes felt heavy. I knew it, I thought. People are still talking. I stayed very quiet. I pretended I did not hear. I just kept working. But inside, I felt smaller again. During lunch, I sat with Lisa again. She noticed my face right away. What happened? She asked. I hesitated. Then I told her what I heard. She sighed. People like to talk, she said. They forget quickly, but they still talk. I don't want to be talked about, I said. My voice was low. She nodded. No one does. I looked at her. Do you think I made a mistake? She shook her head strongly. No. I think you just went out like a normal person. But I feel like everyone is watching me now, I said. Lisa leaned back. Then don't live for their eyes, she said. Live for yourself. Her words were simple, but they stayed in my mind. After lunch, I walked back alone. The hallway felt longer than usual. My steps felt slower. I started thinking again. Maybe I should stop going out on Fridays, I thought. Maybe I should just avoid everything. But another thought came. Why should I hide? I did nothing wrong. Two thoughts, fighting inside me, back and forth. That evening, Michael came home earlier than usual. He sat next to me on the couch. I've been thinking, he said. I looked at him. About what? About Friday, he said. Maybe you should take a break from those bar nights for now. I stayed silent. He continued. It's not about right or wrong. It's just less stress for you, less attention. I felt my throat tighten. So I should just disappear from social life? No, he said quickly. Not disappear. Just choose easier situations. I looked away. I felt tired again. Emotionally tired. I feel like I am doing something wrong no matter what I do, I said quietly. He touched my hand. That's not true. But I was not fully convinced. That night, I could not sleep again. I turned on my side. Then the other side. My thoughts kept coming. What if I go again and it happens again? What if I don't go and I feel lonely? What if people never stop talking? I closed my eyes. I tried to breathe slowly, but my mind was still loud. And in that quiet room, I realized something. I was no longer just thinking about one night. I was now afraid of every night after that. The next few days felt strange. I went to work. I came home. I ate. I slept. Everything looked normal on the outside. But inside me, nothing felt normal anymore. Every time I walked into the office, I felt a small pressure in my chest. Not strong, but always there, like a small stone sitting quietly. I smiled when I needed to smile. I said hello when I needed to say hello. But I was always thinking in the back of my mind, are they still thinking about me? I did not hear anyone say anything directly again. No more comments, no more questions. But silence did not always feel peaceful. Sometimes silence felt like waiting for something I did not want. At home, I also felt different. Michael tried to act normal. He talked about daily things, work, food, small plans for the weekend. But sometimes I noticed he looked at me carefully, like he was trying to understand my mood without asking too many questions. One evening, I sat on the couch and touched my stomach again. My baby was growing more now. I could feel small movements more often. I whispered softly, "It's okay. I'm okay." But I was not fully sure if I believed it. On Friday that week, I did not go to the bar. I stayed home. I told myself it was fine. I just need rest, I said. It is better for me. Michael did not argue. He just nodded. But when the evening came, I still felt something missing. I stood near the window and looked outside. I saw cars passing. I imagined laughter, music, friends talking. I felt a small pain in my chest. I just wanted one normal night, I thought again. Lisa texted me that evening. "Missed you today. Are you okay?" I stared at the message for a long time before replying. "I'm okay, just tired." She replied quickly. "Don't let people make your world smaller." I read that sentence again and again. Don't let people make your world smaller. It stayed in my mind. The next Monday at work, something unexpected happened. During lunch break, a small group of coworkers were sitting together. I was getting my food when I heard one of them say something. "She didn't do anything wrong, honestly," one woman said. Another voice replied, "Yeah, I think we all overthought it." I slowed down. I listened without wanting to. The first woman continued, "She was just drinking a virgin drink. It's not a big deal." Then the second one said, "People just reacted too fast." I did not say anything. I just stood there quietly. My heart was beating faster, but in a different way this time. Not fear, something else. Relief, maybe. Or confusion. I walked back to my seat and sat down slowly. I thought everyone was judging me, I said to myself. But maybe not everyone was. That thought made me feel lighter. A little lighter. After work, Lisa came to my desk again. I heard people talking, she said. I nodded. I heard too. She smiled softly. See? It's already fading. I looked at her. But I still feel it. She nodded. That's normal. Feelings stay longer than rumors. We sat quietly for a moment. Then she said, You know, you don't need to stop living your life because of one uncomfortable night. I sighed. But I don't want that feeling again. I get it, she said, but you can't control every reaction people have. I stayed silent. That night, I told Michael something different. I think I want to try again, I said. He looked at me. Try what? Going out, I said. Maybe not drinking anything. Maybe just sitting with friends. I don't want fear to decide everything for me. He thought for a moment, then nodded slowly. If you feel ready, I support you. That answer felt different from before. Not warning, not judgment, just support. A few days later, I did go out again. Same group, same place. My heart was a little nervous when I walked in. I could feel it beating faster at first, but I kept walking. I sat down. I ordered water this time. Just water. At first, I watched people carefully, waiting, listening. But nothing happened. No comments, no strange looks. Just normal talk, normal laughter, normal night. Slowly, my shoulders relaxed. I looked around and thought, maybe I made this bigger in my head than it really was. I took a breath. A real deep breath. I can be here, I told myself. I can be here and still be safe. Later that night, I walked out with Lisa. The air was cool again, just like that first night. But this time, I did not feel like running away. Lisa looked at me and said, Better? I smiled a little. Yes, better. Not perfect, not fully healed, but better. On the way home, I thought about everything that happened. The bar, the comments, the fear, the silence, the support, the confusion. And I realized something simple. People will always have opinions. Some will speak. Some will stay quiet. Some will understand. Some will misunderstand. But I cannot live inside their thoughts. I placed my hand on my stomach again and said softly, We are going to be okay. And for the first time in many days, I truly felt a little peace. Moral lesson. Sometimes people misunderstand us, and it can hurt deeply. But we should not let fear or judgment shrink our life. We can learn, grow, and still choose to live with confidence and balance.